pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a moment, silence, please. Thank you.
They consider.
Yeah.
The announcement of this meeting has been called in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act, and that an announcement of the same will be mailed to the local newspapers and the clerk of the borough of Belmar, and that the minutes of this meeting will be available after board approval and at a subsequent meeting.
Commissioner Lynch, absent. Commissioner Orchard?
Yes.
Commissioner
Here.
Sharrock?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramey?
Yes.
Commissioner Casserly?
Yes.
Commissioner McCracken is absent. Commissioner Massano?
Yes, here.
We need approval for the minutes for the May 9th meeting.
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Commissioner Orchard?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharrock?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramey?
Yes.
Commissioner Casserly?
I have to abstain.
Commissioner Massano?
Yes.
Review of the bills. Did everybody check them out? Any questions? What was the heating?
What?
Belmar Public, and that,
That's the balance of the new hot water meter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we paid,
60% up front.
and then this
Where's
was
the
the balance
balance?
when it was completed.
Good, okay.
It's all the ordinary, really.
Amy, the electric bill okay?
Yes.
The way it is? Good. Keep it.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Orchard?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharrock?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramey?
Yes.
Commissioner Casserly?
Yes.
Commissioner Massano?
Yes.
Reports, executive director.
Okay, a couple of the projects we're waiting on, the elevator bid was put in to our insurance company, and we should hear in August if we got it or not. If we do, we have to go ahead and do it, and then they'll reimburse us.
Okay,
To
and when,
update the one elevator, modernize it.
and when should we hear?
August.
August, okay.
Scaffolding, it's like pulling teeth to get bids. You know, we put it out for bid twice and got no formal bids. So now we can pretty much be proactive ourselves. I got a bid today, which seems reasonable, and I'm waiting for a second bid to come in.
Good.
And we'll make a decision. Some of the companies don't even bother calling you back. I mean, there's a big one in Philly that I've made a number of calls to, and I've had no response.
Okay.
I think this is a small
I think
project.
so,
Good.
yeah. Although I did notice in their brochure, they did the scaffolding for Lucy, the elephant in Margate, which isn't a huge,
Right.
you know, and that's a nonprofit, I thought, well. But I haven't gotten, I got one from, New York. And basically what they're gonna do is, the bid is a cost to install it, the scaffolding,
Good.
around the building, and then there's a monthly rental. Because you're actually renting the scaffolding.
And how long do you think we'd be renting?
Until we can secure the money to finish.
Yeah,
I'm hoping by the end of the summer, early fall,
okay,
with
okay.
Congressman Smith's,
That would be wonderful.
if that
Okay,
came
would be
through, that
great.
would be great.
That would be great.
But now that the federal budget's approved, I think after the summer, things will start progressing.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to his office just to see if I can get any more information about that.
Terrific, that sounds terrific.
The front door is inoperable, the closure, We had Belmar Electric come in, the new unit, of course. They can't, these things don't get fixed, they just,
Yeah.
so we ordered it.
Dispose of them.
It's $1,200 for the unit. When it comes in, you'll, Chris will install it and let the door going again. And we had the dog inspection. The bedbug dog came in and there was no activity. He didn't know there
Fortunately,
was any.
that's great.
So that's good news too.
Okay.
And that's the extent of the report. Oh, there was one other thing. I've been talking to the library, and I'm just gonna set a date and time for Louis Padilla,
Mhm.
the assistant director. He's gonna come in and start working with people that are interested on how to use electronic devices, how to, you know, whatever they need, he's gonna try and work with.
Have them come there. and
No,
come
he's coming
here.
here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I think he's the one that's hooking up with, Vegan for Life.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because when the girl was here,
Uh-huh.
when we had that one day bingo, and she
Right.
was talking, and he wanted the two of them to, they're gonna work together, that's the way they
Oh,
do
good.
it. And so we'll see what happens, that's,
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
but if only 2 or 3 people come, it's
That's terrific.
Well, he's willing to come here and do it,
Right,
so
That's
so
great.
let's see
take
what
him up on
happens.
it.
Yeah, great.
And that's,
Okay, any correspondence?
No.
Any old business? Any new business?
do we need do you wanna do a motion in terms of the scaffolding, something we can do ahead of time, so we don't have to wait till the next?
Well, so because of the fact that we didn't get 2
Oh,
bids, or because we didn't get any bids, we're now allowed to go out and negotiate and get our own quotes. So once Paul gets this other quote, or if they come back and say, no, they don't want a quote, we can proceed without. And then we'll just do
Or
God, what's the word I'm looking for?
resolution?
A confirmation resolution at next month's meeting.
Okay,
Sure.
so I'll wait and get the second one, and then we'll go with, obviously, with the lowest bid, lower bid, and get it going as quickly as we can.
But you're saying if we don't get a second one, we could still,
He can go with the, yeah, he can go with the one that he got.
That's great.
okay.
That's not the one that did the, like you said.
It's what? No, I never got, they're out of Philly now. It's Superior.
They may have just done that for exposure, you know what I'm saying?
But there was another one we got a while ago through the architect firm. And this guy obviously didn't want it because his bid was like twice as much as it should have been. It's one of those, well, I'll
Yeah, right.
throw a high
Right,
figure
right,
because I
right,
really
right,
don't wanna
right.
do it.
Right.
That's what it was. It's $188,000.
Reports from the commissioners, anybody?
I just have a question about buildings and grounds. The grass looks about the level of mine at my own house. But when I walked around and looked, I'd like to think that we can get a leaf blower out front,
Okay.
to the left of the entrance when you come in, just straighten some things out in there and make it look.
I can't remember.
It's, I think it's because of the heat and wind that's been blowing around here. Thunderstorm Friday, so
Yeah,
just a little quick.
shifts around quite a bit.
Yeah, just a little, a little quick clean up.
Ellen, do you know how to use it?
Ellen can do anything, come on.
But
She could bake a
her
cake.
hourly rate is much too high.
She can bake a cake
we
while
can't
she's
afford
doing that, come on.
Can't take away
Plan
from
a
our beach
party.
duties either, Paul, now, come on.
But we do have a blame.
All right, remarks from the general public?
Yes, my name's Anita Pecorelli. I live at 103 Shark River Avenue in Belmar. Residents have told me that they've asked for walk-in tubs, and they've been told that they cannot have them. They also explained to me that there's a new type of walk-in tub where you can just cut into the existing tub. And I've heard from residents that they've even offered to pay for themselves. Can you comment on any of this?
It's not gonna go.
Well, the building is designed for people that are somewhat mobile. We're not a long-term care facility. So the building is designed and it's supposed to be used for people that have the mobility to get around, use the bathroom. We put in grab bars. But, you know, if people need a lot more than that, then this isn't the building to be living in.
I strongly disagree. The highest rate of incident of accident in any household is the stepping in and out of the tub. It is, if you ask any EMT, that's where they have their most cases at any age with the water, the drippage, and this and that. And I don't think a walk-in tub for someone 65 or older is too much to ask, but I'll move on. The $100,000 free grant money, where is that now?
It's been designated towards the repair of the outside
I
of the
have
building.
something, I'm sorry, okay.
She can cut me.
No, go ahead,
Well, I have a lot more, so she wants to cut.
go ahead, continue.
The $100,000, where is that right now?
It's in capital funds, it's been designated for, there's a 5-year plan we have to submit, and the money, the designation for it is in the 5-year plan.
So the money is in the bank account, I'm guessing? Is that what we're saying? Where
No,
does
we
your
haven't-
budget come from?
It's an annual capital fund that HUD awards to housing authorities.
So if I wanted to Oprah your documents, I would go to a HUD website? Like how would I get, when I Oprah the municipal documents for the library or recreation or anybody else, I go to belmar.com. This is a federal organization. So where do I go to Oprah your documents and follow your money and get your budget and capital plan and such like that?
You would have to email us. No form, and we can provide it for you.
Okay, so what is your email?
BelmarHousingAuthority@gmail.com.
Okay, thank you for that. Whose boat is on the property? Whose boat is over there on the side of the property?
Our superintendent,
Does your superintendent live here?
yes,
Does everybody have a boat access lane?
no,
Okay. Have there been any more recordable issues with the elevator?
no,
Has there been any more bricks falling?
not that I'm aware of.
Are you familiar with the Affordable Connectivity Program offered by the federal government to help support your seniors with low income to get internet for as low as $30?
They
It's
would
called the
have-
Affordable Connectivity Program. It's federal money. I think it should be advertised to your residents. It's a very simple program. You can get your internet for as low as $30, sometimes even free.
That was brought up at, with the lady from Beacon of Life.
Okay.
That's hooking up with, what's his name?
Lewis?
Lewis, hooking up with Lewis.
So basically, you just go to your bill wherever you get your internet from, and there'll be a click for the Affordable Connectivity Program. It's federal money, and you just basically click on it and fill it out, and then they will reduce your internet.
Let Lewis work on
Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, if I'm redundant, I'm sorry, because I can't live from 30 feet away.
Come over here.
Okay, it's okay, but it's all right. I know you were talking about the front door. Okay, now, if the part isn't available, can Mike drive to wherever it is to pick it up?
It's gonna be
whether it's
shipped,
New York,
Missy.
Pennsylvania, Delaware.
We ordered it and it's being shipped.
Okay, okay. The other thing, a couple of things I want to bring up too. The front door, as you know, is a security and accessibility issue. The sooner you get that fixed, the better for everybody.
We're
It's very
aware
hard
of
for
that.
people who have mobility issues like myself, who come from shopping in town and push the cart and then have to deal with the door. I just don't bother. I walk all the way around. All right, okay, next one. This is fire season. Fire alert is very, very high. There are
my cigarette butts all over the front patio. Now, if it's not gonna be enforced here, maybe code enforcement has to get over here.
I don't think they'll come over for that, Missy. The law is very clear, and if you see someone smoking
Okay.
within
Right, okay,
that close to the building, let us know. All right?
all right, next. Third floor, the light in the third floor in front of the elevator has been out for I don't know how long. It's pitch black in that hallway, just so you know.
What hallway?
Third.
And I'm sure other hallways have light bulbs out too. Again, that's a safety issue. Okay, finally, I'm offering a suggestion. It might seem far-fetched and out of the box, but it's for funding for our building. Now, you know, Bon Jovi does a lot of philanthropy in New Jersey. And it does 2 kitchens in Asbury Park and Neptune, and also contributes a lot of donations. Now, another philanthropist in New Jersey is Alicia Keys, and it doesn't have to deal with music. It can deal with whatever you need. There are many philanthropists. I looked it up on the internet, New Jersey philanthropists. There are also philanthropy organizations that deal with business issues. Okay, now that's another thing to look into as well. I also looked up how to write a letter for philanthropy, how to make a request. You have to have so detail of what to say and so forth. But I think it's worth looking into because my feeling is, come September, who knows? The grant or whatever, the funding that Chris Christie is talking about is not a guarantee. We know that. Okay, we need something to fall back on. Okay? All right, that's it for me.
Just to clarify, it's Chris Smith, not Chris Christie, that put in the request. Congressman Smith, not Chris Christie. Chris Smith, can you read it? Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. And it's included in his 10, they were allowed 10 requests for congressperson. It's in his 10. So I think we have a better than average chance of getting it.
Okay. One more thing, about the elevator. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but when the elevator stops at every floor, it's not flush, but the elevator is not flush with the floor, so it's a trip hazard. Either people are going to feel like they're falling down to get in or tripping to get out. Just want to let you know that it's been like
I'll
that
take
for
a
a
look
while.
at it. Every time I ride it, it's flat when I get off. I don't know.
Just telling you.
All right.
Okay.
Maria, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna stand over here so you can see me too. I'm Maria, I'm your rep from the Borough Hall, councilwoman. I just wanted to follow up, so for an engineer to do the programming with the scaffolding, that, we have the one bid, and that's someone from New York? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the second is supposed to be coming in very soon?
Well, we're waiting to see if this person's gonna bid on it.
Okay. So when do you think, like, is there a
I'm
date
not
that
gonna
was
wait too
happening?
long. I'm not gonna wait too long.
Okay.
If we don't get that second bid in, I'd say within a week, we're gonna go ahead with the one we have.
Perfect, thank you.
But in terms of diligence and due diligence and in terms of taxpayers' money,
Right,
we wanna be open to getting at least 2 bids.
sure. And then the insurance, that's the grant that was,
Yes.
so that's grant money that we're looking to get for the elevator.
Correct,
And that's $200,000?
yes.
200,000, that's great. Is there any way to go on to what Missy was asking, can you, as the housing authority, can we privately fundraise? Similar to how we fundraise with the Belmar Art Center for the piano and Piano Plaza, is there any way for the Belmar Housing Authority to privately fundraise, or does all money need to be federal?
No, we're nonprofit, right? We're incorporated.
Yeah, I'd have to talk to the accountant about that and the auditor.
Amy will file, she'll talk to the auditor and the accountant. to see.
Wonderful. Amy, do you have my email to follow up with me? Perfect on that, because if that's possible, I'd like to see what we can do
All right.
in fundraising, even, and if it's not for the building, then maybe for something else, maybe for the elevator, maybe, other initiatives. I think people would be interested in helping, if they can. But if it's not possible, then
I don't
we're
see
not
why
gonna
it
go
wouldn't be
down.
possible, it just has to run through our budget, so there's
Okay.
just a process, if there's fundraisers, and then the money gets turned over to us, we just have to anticipate it in our budget as a revenue to offset the appropriation that it would be used for.
Okay,
So,
great.
not a difficult process, just wanna make sure we follow the right steps for it.
And that-
Wonderful.
And that would, we gotta make sure it doesn't reduce our
I was
appropriation.
just gonna ask
Correct,
you
it
that.
doesn't reduce our
So that
funding.
if we raise funding, the feds would say, okay, well, we're gonna take
Just
that
gonna
much.
ask that.
We're gonna give you that much.
Recalculate, capture.
Yeah.
Can it live in a different, can it live somewhere else, I'm sorry, I don't mean to, no, can it live somewhere different, like if let's say the Friendly Sons of the Shillelagh donated the money and it came from them, is that still the same thing?
It's still the same thing, I would liken it to a municipal budget,
Okay,
no differently than a municipal budget,
Right.
where if you get a donation in or a grant in, you have to anticipate the revenue on your revenue side and appropriate it on your appropriation side.
okay,
I don't think we can, it's not like a trust account that I could stick it into the side that doesn't actually flow through the budget.
right, okay, so that's worthwhile looking into. I'm happy to hear about Lewis, the library coming in to help, that's
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful, they've been very helpful in town altogether. This is the first that I heard about the bathtubs. Is there, I do know that this building, from what I read, is for disabled and, older adults, but that was from 1960 something, we've come a long way from then. Is there a way to retrofit these tubs? Because certainly the difference between level of care here and long-term, there's a big gap. I think it's reasonable to expect, if it can be retrofitted, to look into that.
We would have to have an engineer look into it, because at the age of the building, we're very reluctant to do things that are gonna affect, this building is tired, and I'm putting it nicely.
Right.
okay?
I had actually asked that question when Paul Caverly was
Because
here.
I wanted
Yeah,
one.
Yes, and he had,
He
because
told me,
we
no,
were starting
no,
to do the
no.
apartment.
Right.
And he said the cost was astronomical.
So we was going to say so.
So maybe we can, maybe that's a fundraising option too, I don't know.
As long as,
But-
as long as the engineer would clear it
Okay,
in terms of integrity, because
Yeah,
between our plumbing and everything else,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I think they do have now these, I think it's pretty standard, how they retrofit these tubs. So maybe technology has changed a little bit in making it easier or more affordable, but I'd love to look into it. So when would an engineer be able to be talked to about it?
That's a good question. Maybe you could you ask the engineer for the borough?
I can.
If he's got the time and the interest.
Okay. Or a salesperson from
Yeah,
the company,
Sometimes
just to
the
find out.
companies have a technical person on staff.
It's just a tub.
Right, like a bath fitter type company.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you start moving pipes and things.
Right, if it means moving pipes and sledgehammer, you're gonna need an engineer, but I think
And
that's.
if you do move the pipes, it may not be the problem where you would reattach it coming down the line.
right?
Yeah, you know what an old house
Something
is.
to look at.
Yeah, well, thank you for considering that, because I know that certainly for, you don't need to be older or disabled to, to have an issue getting the foot up and over. And we, I'm glad we have the bars, that's important. But this
I
would
just
be
know,
awesome.
I did ask that way back when, and I was told that it was much too expensive for everything that had to be done.
Sure, yeah. And then I do have, I know it was before I came in, but a request. I know we've talked about microphones before and that didn't go over well, but is there any way to just use these few tables to come down a little further, or to allow the residents to come up a little bit? I have very good hearing, and it is also hard for me to hear.
Bring it up further.
Well, they can come up, right?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bring it up further.
I told the first 4 seats for people who wanted to use them, and nobody moved up.
Sure. I mean, so I guess, and can we just move our seats then around the table?
As long as we just have to keep a means of egress. It's gotta be
Okay.
a whole, a corridor so people can get in and out.
Take the leaves and the
Yes, these tables can be short.
Shorten.
If they can be
I
short-
tried to see what was going here, so
Yeah,
1, 2, minimum 3.
Then we can turn
Tonight,
a couple of them the other way.
that would be wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I don't mean to disturb the flow. You've been doing such a good job, but it is, I can relate, it is hard to hear. Thanks.
Anyone else? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good meeting. How you doing?